Okay, perfect. Hi guys, this is Lavin joining in from Newton School. Joining in from Newton School. Today we are gonna be speaking about how you can build your
Okay,
career in
perfect.
data
Hi
science,
guys.
right? And I appreciate your patience. But as we go along, let's just have a quick round of interaction among you so that we can get acquainted with each other, right? So can you just let me know from which college are you guys joining from and from which year you guys are plugging in, so that we can make our content personalized as per the requirement. You can use the live chat in order to put your answers. That would be really appreciated. Okay, people are plugging in, so we might take a minute or so in order to so that people can plug in, and accordingly we will take it further. Perfect. I think we will just start with this session. People can plug in, and we will see how this session is going. Right. Okay. Before we move further, I will just let you know that what are the things are we going to be covering in this session, right? So firstly, what is this webinar all about, and what are we going to be learning in this webinar? How you can use this information and use in your personal life, professional life, and of course you can speak to your mentors and everything regarding that. And what are the future opportunities does a data scientist have, right? So we will be answering those questions, and if you have any of your questions, try to plug them in the later part of the section, so that they don't get we will get the opportunity to see them and try to answer them as many as possible, right? Perfect. So let's not delay it any further. I will just introduce today's speaker. So today's speaker name is Sagar Udasi. He has done his BTech in Electronics Telecom from VJTI Mumbai College, right? And he has been a research intern at Samsung in R&D Institute, right? Worked over there as an AI at Bixby, then a software developer and an applied scientist in Amazon, right? Over there, he worked there on shopping app and of course the Alexa, right? Perfect. So technically, he has studied web development, data science, and machine learning. And just to tell you a little bit about his personal life, he loves maths, finance, and he plays chess. Right, that's right. Perfect. So he has been in BSc as well, Bombay Stock Exchange, and was the first runner-up in Financial Olympiad. Not only that, but he has participated in his technical clubs in his college in order to grow his technical skills rather than just studying the theoretics. He has been part of a community over there. He has been in an atmosphere with like-minded people, speak about technical skills which they want to nurture and the future possibilities that opens up for them, right? So let's not wait any time. I think you can see Sagar on the screen. Hi Sagar, how are you doing, man? All good?
Hi, am I audible? Hello,
Sagar on the
Laveen.
screen. Sagar, how are you doing, man? All good?
Am I audible? Okay, just give me a second if I'm not
Able to
audible.
hear you properly.
You are able to hear me properly, right?
Can you just recheck your mic, and if you want, you can rejoin again. That's not a problem.
Okay, just give me a second if
You are able to hear me properly,
Perfect,
right?
perfect, perfect. Now I can hear you.
Can
Perfect.
you
I
just
think
recheck your
we can
mic
move
and
further with
if you
this.
can?
okay, so I think
Okay,
there is
so I
a
think there
bit
is a bit
delay,
delay,
Yeah,
but
that there
but
is. Yeah.
okay, but that's
okay,
fine,
but
I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So yeah, thank you for the kind introduction, Lavin. And yeah, it's been great working in like data science and all these fields, which are like very fascinating. We always try to, work for such a big tech company, and then uh, like be first in Samsung, work there on Bixby, which is Samsung's AI assistant, and then eventually you end up in Amazon and work there on Alexa. So yeah, it was quite a good journey, and I hope that today I will be able to share few insights with you guys, and definitely you will be having some questions, so we'll be answering those as well. And yeah, I think that I'm really excited to actually get started with this event. Yeah,
Perfect, perfect. I think few people are plugging in their questions. People, students, if you wanna just let me know which college and from which year are you guys joining. That would be really appreciated. Okay, perfect. Let's keep on plugging in your answers. I think I will just let make you guys understand how this webinar is gonna be looking like. So, this webinar is divided into three parts. Firstly, what are we are gonna be telling you about what is the need of DS and what are the real life applications about it. Secondly, what are the basics of DS, right? And thirdly, what are the career opportunities and resources we are providing as a part of it. But before we move ahead with that session, I just wanted to ask you guys, I just wanted to ask Sagar that Sagar, I think you have been part of clubs in your college, technical clubs in your college, right? So how
yeah,
has that experience helped you in terms of nurturing your skills and everything around that? Can you just answer to
sure.
that?
Sure. So, as you just described in the introduction, that I am coming from electronics and telecommunication background. So, I am particularly not from this computer science thing, but I'm eventually, ending up in the software development and data science fields. So, these communities have definitely helped me in a way ki I always like knew from the members of these communities that what should I study, what should I be doing next in order to make a career in these FANG companies and so on. So yeah, definitely they actually they acted like a roadmap for me, and they gave me a very nice mentorship there, and it really worked out well, I will say. So yeah,
Perfect, perfect. Just because you have laid few words on them, and just because you have been having an experience over there. So, Newton School is coming up with their own flagship technical clubs. What are those gonna be? Is that it's gonna be totally student-driven clubs. These are gonna be execution by the students. There is a position for president. There's a position for vice president, technical lead, whatever interests you. Even though you are from a technical background, still you can nurture these skills, because I'm quite sure people those who are plugging in have very high visions in their life, right? So it should be a combination of skill, technical skill, it could be marketing skill, it could be content writing skill, it could be your extra hobby which you want to be working on. So Newton School can help you over there. I will just plug in the link in the chat box if you are interested in it. For sure to try to check it out the form, you can read it and you can go through that. And if you want, we have put it a mail in that, and you can try to put your questions over there, we will try to answer them, right? What do you think of this opportunity, Sagar, for the students?
I think definitely it is very useful, and even if they are from technical backgrounds, I think it will be useful for them as well, because there is some sort of a discipline maintained when you see these events happening. You will study for them, you participate in them, you compare your skills with other people who are your peers and all. So definitely it gives you that boost as well, and kind of that feeling that yeah, you are really doing something. And yeah, I think most of things I have learned it due to peer pressure, I will say. I have seen people doing it, and then I just thought that okay, I will do it as well. And it works very fine. So yeah. You should
Perfect,
do it.
perfect. If you are interested, feel free to fill up the form, and we will take that journey along. Right? Perfect. All right. I think let's start with this webinar. I think we have decided the flow. If you have any questions, again, I'm repeating myself. Feel free to plug them in the chat box, and we will take them. Right? Okay. Perfect. So first, let's start with the question which we have received a lot. What is the need of data science? What's the need of data science? I
Uh,
will,
okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is one of the most important questions to begin with. Like, of course, you should know that what's the need of data science before pursuing it. So, definitely, it is the key question. And once you will understand the motivation of this question, you will be better able to appreciate what is data science and so on. So, let's go and see what is this. Again, so I'm taking these two examples, and these are two big e-commerce companies, firstly operating in India, Amazon and Flipkart. Now you can be, I will say now, okay, so we are going to make comparisons between them. So guys, whoever is listening to this webinar, and whoever is attending, you can be in team Amazon or you can be in team Flipkart, whatever you want to decide. And yeah, so there are these two big companies. Now there is one data which is very important. And if I tomorrow ask you, let's say we are working in Amazon or Flipkart, and tomorrow I ask you that in which state should I boost my business, in which state should I actually get my people or get the marketing done, advertise more on my of my brand and so on. Like, these are business questions, we have it all right. So this is the question which we want to answer. Now this is a very vague question. You can say that, Sagar, you know what, just put some advertisements in Maharashtra maybe, or maybe in Mumbai, or just put some like advertisements in Karnataka, or any, pick any state. But this is very vague. So what we were trying to do in this is we want to actually understand how this process is going to get forward. Now the question is, where is the data? So the data which we are going to use is actually Google's search data. So Google has the search data. Whenever you are going to go on Google Chrome or anywhere, and you just write amazon.com or flipkart.com, you just are making a search which Google is going to remember it for a long time. Now the thing is that here we are of course ignoring the apps or the shopping which is made using apps. So but that's okay for our trivial example today. We will just make the browser made requests. Now if we just compare the 5-year data, so now what this thing Google is doing is, it is considering all the search history of people who are actually making amazon.com and flipkart.com, whoever they are searching, and finally they are squishing it to 100 percentage. So you are seeing a number between 0 and 100, and here you can see the popularity or the interest of people over time. So this is a 5-year period. So in 2017, if you start, you can clearly see there is a big competition which is happening. Amazon was in clear dominance, and this dominance happened like till I think 2020. You can see it, and since 2021. Flipkart is taking up the pace, or Amazon is losing something. But definitely, this shows something is happening, and this is the interest of the period people. Now, this is one way to visualize things. Another way I would say to visualize is, you can have it in this format as well. What are the states in which amazon.com is actually very prominent, people are using it more, people are very interested in, is in Delhi, Chandigarh, Telangana and so on. And you can again see for Flipkart, it's Bihar, Tripura and those areas. So if you are doing marketing and you are saying that, okay, I will expand my Flipkart in Bihar, probably that's not making much sense because you are already famous there. Rather, you should compete in some areas where Amazon is more dominant, but not directly to Delhi, probably, because there it is very dominant. So you start doing and growing little by little, and such business decisions are being made using data science. I have one more example here, but you can have again in this format as well. You can see on a map where Flipkart is good. These are different types of visualizations, I would say, on a map, on a bar graph or anything like this. And you can again see what type of queries people are making, what people are searching on Google when they are talking about Amazon or something like this. So this is one example which we took of the big tech companies. There is one more example, and this is very pretty interesting. I think that it is one of my favorite examples, to be like honest with you guys. In 2015 there was one big clash in the July month. In the initial like part of the July, two big movies launched at the same time. One was this Bahubali, the beginning. Of course, we know it is one of the biggest movies of India. And the same one, in the same time, we had this another movie which is Bajrangi Bhaijaan. Now the question is where you should go and do the conferences. Now, of course, we know that movies do conferences for their promotions and so on. Of course, now, and from where, which states should I keep more screens, where I am expecting more audience to be, and where I'm expecting the audience to be a little bit lesser, and so on. So all these factors need to be made into consideration before going forward and just launching the movie. So if we just look at it and just see that, okay, I am a movie analyst kind of a guy, I will first see that who are the main actors of the movie, and then I will see their popularity. Of course, we can clearly see that if we compare Prabhas and Salman, Salman is dominating all across India, and just except one state, which is Andhra Pradesh, where Prabhas is very dominant. But the idea is that, okay, does it mean that Bajrangi is going to win the game? The answer is not that simple. You probably now look for the directors as well. Like Rajamouli is a big brand, we all know this, and he has proven himself again and again. And again, there is this Kabir Khan. And this time, if I see, except few states, Rajamouli is very famous. So I just know that, okay, the scene is not that bad. There is this again, you can say popularity is enough for movie to run successfully. And now, if I just look at the movies, finally, how they panned out in India, m- they are doing comparatively well. Bahubali, in fact, did a little bit better. We can clearly see this. And if we look at just the movies, okay, you can see the states in which Bahubali actually did better, and in states where Bajrangi did better. So this makes a lot more sense, by the way, the data as well, that in the southern states and in Gujarat and in some parts of India, of course, Bahubali is doing better, and in some northern areas, Salman is doing better. But the idea is we always need data to make predictions, to make business decisions. Every single business decision, I would say, is driven by data science these days. And there is this one important saying, which is that data is the new oil. Companies who are actually having this data, they are probably the Gulf companies, we can say. And yeah, so this is one big thing which I will say, that there is always a need of data science everywhere whenever you may have to make a decision. Yeah.
Perfect. I think that's nicely said. I think I have also heard a lot about that. That the data is the new biggest thing right now. Perfect. So
Absolutely.
jumping on to the next question, what
Mhm.
in your view is data science? If you can explain the viewers in the most layman language.
Okay, so if you are thinking about data science, like it is a very jargonish term, or you can say it's a very recent term that has come into market. But yeah, if I just break it down for you, so I will break it down in this way. Okay, let's start with a business problem. Okay, you have a business problem and you want to take a decision. Now this business problem can be whether you want to expand your business to some another state, or whether you want to do start a new business in some another state, or maybe you have to do the marketing, maybe you do have to launch a new product. Any damn thing, it's a business problem which we're gonna solve. Once you have this problem, now you have to convert it into a numbers ke format mein. So here when I saw that, okay, if I ask you now, who is more popular, Amazon or Flipkart? Now, this is a very layman question if I ask you, and you might probably say Amazon, but the idea is that, okay, this is just based on the gut feeling. Where are the numbers? So here the idea is that, okay, what can be the proxy of famousness? So I like the fame. What is the proxy of fame? I will say probably the internet searches. Like if people are searching some term more than a some certain amount of time, probably that term is more famous. So we can think about it in this way ki, I have a business problem and I'm converting it into some format which I can measure. Once I do that, I say that I have converted into an analytical form. Once that is done, now I need the data. Now here in this case, Google already has the data, so I didn't put much effort into the data collection. But if you are a company, you are taking this business decisions, you have already got the understanding of how the problem looks like. Now you just need to find the data and you have to collect it, and yeah, that's the very big thing. Once you get this data, now you visualize. Now you just saw that I made some graphs, and you saw these like there were some graphs there, so there were some like bar graphs, and also this thing, the India map pay, which we just saw, like who is more popular in which state and so on. So this is nothing but visualization data in a format which I can understand very easily. I don't need to look at the tables, I don't need to crunch numbers in my head. I can just see at something and make the final conclusion. So you visualize the data. Oftentimes you do not get data as per your requirement, so you just clean it up a little bit and then you visualize it again. Once you're satisfied with your visualization, now you go and you model the data. You will make your assumptions and you will make some uh, ideas there, and you will say, okay, if this happens, I will do this, and so on. So this is nothing but modeling your entire hypothesis. Whatever you are thinking, now you are coming up with plans and all. You will again see, are these plans making any sense? You will evaluate them. If they are any giving you wrong results, you will again go back, modulate it, then come back, evaluate, again go back, modulate it, and so on and so forth. Finally you will model it completely well. You will come with a final answer, and then you will just I will say deploy it. So deployment means that now you are taking the decision based on that model and people are following that path. So this one screen which you are seeing right now is data science in nutshell at all levels, be it a beginner level or be it advanced level. This is what people do. The involved techniques might get sophisticated with time, but the overall framework which each and every person follows in data science is exactly this one slide. That's it.
Perfect. All right. We are not gonna be just speaking about what data science is. I know we have told you guys that we are gonna be giving you the resources, what from where you can get those resources, what are the places you can practice those resources. Of course, theoretical is not important nowadays. The practicality is also required, right? So for that, we have lined up those things at the end of this session. So you might have to wait for like next 20 to 25 minutes, and then we will be giving you all of those resources. So stick around for a while, and then you can enjoy your weekend just after that. Perfect. All right. So moving on to the next phase of this webinar, in what industries are data scientists required?
Okay, that's a very good question, because oftentimes it feels that this belongs to computer science, so probably there are the software companies who are going to hire data scientists. Like that's the normal people thought which people have. But I will say that it is actually a misconception, to be honest. You can go into any industry, to be honest. Like if you start with like here, other forms the biggest 15.7% employees in these industries are actually data scientists, and this others may, you can imagine all the industries together which are not listed down, like which are not listed below. So if you look at individual industries, probably software industries, yes, they use the maximum amount of data scientists, which is around 15%. You can clearly see it on the screen. But if we just look at another, like big companies, like there are this finance and banking companies, 13% is not less, just a 1% or 2% short of software companies, which is completely fine. Consulting, these are big companies who are like McKinsey, and we have heard about these companies like Deloitte, PwC, and so on. These companies definitely need data scientists, because their job is just to make decisions for their client, and if they are not making the right decision, they are going to lose their client, which is definitely very bad for them. And they will require data scientists who will crunch the numbers for them, and they will come up with these plans, and eventually these plans will go to their clients. So definitely consulting is one big thing. Healthcare. Now I have you might get fascinated listening to this, that there are people or data scientists who have tested drug just on Excel sheets, and they have just found the efficiency, that whether this is going to work 80%, 90%. And this is increasing, firstly the efficiency. Now we are coming up with a better number. Secondly, we are not putting humans on trials that frequently. Of course we are making trials, but that is only after data science and machine learning is giving appropriate results. So we are trying to minimize these side effects and so on. So healthcare is one big thing. Education. All edtech companies today have data scientists working their like backend page just to improve their platform. And we have seen, like personally I have seen the code which goes behind the Newton School ka entire platform, which checks where the student is weak at what point. And definitely this gives us insight in, and we can just go and then help that student to overcome the problem or that subject where he's feeling weak. So yeah, it is required everywhere. Like even in media advertisement, like just how we saw an example of Bajrangi Bhaijaan and Bahubali. Yes, they require data scientists to do these sort of calculations. So I think that okay, you can go through this slide and you can see that each and every industry requires data scientists. It's not that it is restricted to one company, and these numbers are growing year by year. Everyone is realizing the importance of data science, and yeah, they are just blooming, I would say.
Perfect. Nicely answered, I must say that. Okay. So while I was researching about this topic, Sagar, right? So I
Mhm.
have heard that careers like data engineers, data analyst, are these also same as data science, or they have some kind of differentiation or lot differentiation among these terms?
Okay,
What are your
yeah.
thoughts?
So, yeah, a good question, by the way. So, of course, there are different tags, I would say, or titles, I would say, in which a person joins a company. Probably it will be a data scientist, or it will be a data engineer. It can be a data analyst or something like this. So these are different roles, and they are different. Like if you look at data science and data analyst, the difference is not much. A data analyst can study a little bit more mathematics. Only difference is that if you are good at mathematics, you will probably opt for data scientist. If you are not that good at mathematics and you feel that okay, I will do programming and I want to stay within limits, then yeah, probably data analyst is good for you. Data engineer is however quite different from these two roles. This is more towards the software engineering part. So if you are being a software engineer and you want to work related to data, yeah, probably data engineering is quite close to what you already do. And but if you are looking something which analytics side, data scientist and data analyst are a little bit like on the other hand, I would say. So yeah, like this is how it is. It's just based on what skills you have. There is a basic skill set. I think we are going to discuss that in some point. Depending on which skill set is more strong, which is stronger, you can opt for one career, or you can actually shuffle between careers if you want. That's completely possible as well.
All right, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so my next question towards you would be, how long does it takes to get into data science career, or what is the time frame, if I may ask?
Okay. Now before time frame, can we discuss like what is required to get into data science? Because if we, get these skills right, probably we will be able to better estimate what time it takes to master one skill and each of them. So let's actually, start from this.
Sure,
What's
sure,
required? Yeah.
sure.
So okay, so what's required to get into data science, if that is the question which we are answering? So I will think that okay, there are only four things. If you master you can get into this field. And if these lie into your interest areas, probably you should look for data science. So this is my like analysis. So these four things are mathematics. If you are really liking these mathematical concepts of, this algebra, calculus, we have been doing it since 11 12 standard, and then we did it in engineering as well. And the good thing about this maths and statistics, if I just club both of them together, whether you are a computer science guy, or whether you are an electronics guy, or whether you are a civil engineer or mechanical engineer, be it any field, you have actually done maths and statistics. So even if you are non-engineering guy who is just doing mathematics and statistics, I think that okay, you have sufficient knowledge to get started with. Then the third thing is definitely Python programming. Now Python is one of the most prominent languages which is being used in data science. There are other ones as well, like there are languages like R, and Scala is there, there is Julia, and so on. So there are some here and there other languages, but Python is by far the most prominent and most famous programming language in this industry. So if you are starting or getting started, yeah, use Python, I would say, because this is very easy to understand and very easy to code in, and you can be very good at it. And lastly is the databases. You will have to understand databases because you have to fetch the data from databases. It is eventually the place where data is being stored. So you get the data from the database, you write the Python code, and what you are writing is backed by your mathematical and statistical knowledge. So in this way you can have your entire four skills to get into this data science. Now coming back to your question, Lavin, that how long it takes to get into data science. So it depends. Like the real answer is that it really depends from person to person. But if I just talk in average terms, like if there are 100 people, so what is the most likely period in which they can cover it? So according to like my opinion as well, and as well as like thinking, I have seen people working in industry, and my colleagues have also like came into this field. So approximately this is the timeline which we had tracked it since a long time. So mathematics, you might require 2 months to master it, to learn the concepts if you are learning daily. Statistics, again, I will say 2 months. Python, I would say again 2 months, and database as well. So this makes 8 months ka period where you can actually learn these theory of it. And last 4 months, I keep it for projects and practice. So whatever you have learned in last 8 months, you practice it for next 4 months continuously. And in 1 year, I think you should be at a good level to start your career in data science. So yeah, this is what the timeline looks like approximately.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Okay. So jumping on to the next question, what kind of projects and competition do they need to participate in? Do you think, do you have any idea in which students can go towards the platforms, or which can help them rather than the researching? If you can refer few of them for the audience.
Okay, so firstly, if you just like look at you know on YouTube, and you just look at the data science projects, you will get a ton of projects, definitely. This is one thing. But if you want a real good resource, I think that most of the data scientists and machine learning engineers, both of them, really go to Kaggle and they test it out there. So Kaggle is a very famous website, and the good thing about Kaggle is that they also provide the data sets. So you do not need to worry about what sort of data you are going to collect, and so data is collected for you. You just have to pick it, clean it, visualize it, and then model your data, and then just make the decisions and deploy. So that makes a lot more easier. Secondly, what type of projects you should make, that I think solely depends upon what field you are coming from. If you are coming from like a commerce field or a finance field, probably like doing something related to stock markets and doing something related to trading and so on, that makes a lot more sense, so that you can actually leverage both of your skills, your finance skills as well and your data science as well. If you are coming from a educational background, probably solving edtech problems makes a lot more sense, and then looking at what edtech companies are doing, being a data scientist there, solving such similar kind of questions, and that makes it real good impact. So the idea is that whatever experience you're having, if you're not having any experience, just go on to GitHub, pick up like just search for some projects there, look at their codes, understand it, look for some YouTubers, and then you see what they are doing. If you don't have any experience, if you have experience, try to leverage that same experience which you have gathered across your experience in industry, and then on top of it, just garnish it with, I will say, data science, and it will really create a good project and resume, I would say.
Perfect, perfect. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, jumping on to the next session, which is that what are the career opportunities and the resources which we will be providing them, right? So, in your views, what is the right time to start? When should it
Okay.
they start? Is it like first year, second year, or irrespective of the what are the years? If they are intrigued by this particular thing subject, when should
Mhm.
they start?
So the correct answer would be now. Like, if you, it doesn't matter where you are at this point, you can start it right now, because the field is at its peak right now. So definitely you are going to get a lot of community support if you are looking for that. So definitely this is the idea. But still, like as you said, ki uh, does it really matter if I'm in my 20s or if I'm in my 30s? Does it really makes any difference that can I come in
Hmm.
data science anytime? The answer is yes, actually you can commit at any time. So this is one of the surveys which were made, like which was made in US, but I think that in India we also follow a similar demographic. So this study is actually quite useful there. So we have seen that actually people who are above the age of 40, 41% of people in that category actually go and do data science. And the reason why they are doing it, but firstly, is because they are actually spent a lot many years doing business, and they have got the understanding of the markets, so they can actually predict better what is going to happen. But I think that even if you are starting in your 20s and 30s, you will be able to grab that knowledge, understand under their mentorship. If you are working in like below a great data scientist, I think you will get a lot of knowledge, and by the time you are in your 30s, you will be making a lot more. So yeah, I think that you can be at any age and start this. Also, there is one question which I think people get, key, should I go into data science after my bachelor's, or is it compulsory to do masters or phd, or like a higher degree is required or not? The answer is that 51% people do it after bachelor's, so you can do it even if you are finishing your bachelor's. 34% people do it after master's. So again, that is your call upon. Masters and doctorate people make a slightly more than bachelor's. So if you are looking from the money point of view, yes, probably masters and doctorate will help you. Definitely it will help you, by the way. But even if you do not want to do masters, no problem, you can come into this field, and people are doing it. So yeah, that's definitely possible.
Perfect. If you have any questions, start plugging them in the chat box. We will be taking them, I think, after one more question I have, and after that, we will be taking the live questions. Perfect. All right. Um, okay. So I think we have made the build up. Data science is required. Why data science is required? What are the resources? Where can we practice them? That is all coming summing up to one question, which is how much can I make as a data scientist, which is the
Ah,
need of the hour. Can you please
yeah,
answer that?
the, that's perhaps the most important question, I would say. Now, again, the answer, I would say, it depends from person to person, from person, like how much skill set you are having. But the idea is that, okay, if I just make a comparative answer here, what is the
Hmm.
maximum? There is no maximum, to be honest. You can even go up to like 30 and 40 per year, lakhs per year, if you want. You can make it, but that there is no upper bound it on it. But just to be a comparative study, I will say that you can make a lot, really really a lot. And if you just compare with the uh, like these other jobs which are present outside, so this is the data which was given by PayScale. PayScale is one of the biggest companies who is actually monitoring what is the average salaries of people in particular domain. So a software developer in India on average, this is the average figure, guys, so don't worry that this is very less or it is very more. You don't need to worry on this. If you are if you are in the top 10% of this like entire people who are doing this job, you can even make about 12, above 15, above 16. That's completely normal and people do make it. But the average is 5.3, which is fair enough. If you look at a machine engine like learning engineer in India, so he makes around 7.2 lakhs per year. So again, as I said, this is just the median salary. Like 50% of people make it like 7.27 or 50% above this. But if you are just at the top 10%, you will can make 20 plus, which you can clearly see it is 2 million. It is saying at 90%. But yeah, so this is completely possible. Coming to the data science salary, it is the highest of what you can see across all the verticals. Data science on average, like the median, the 50% mark is at 8.7 lakhs, and 8.8, I must say, approximately. So you can expect that even if you are at just the 50% mark, you need not to be, top 10% cream. You need not to be top 20% cream. Even if you are average, even if you are middle, this is a salary which people do get. And even if you are a little better, I think that you can like go very high in this field. I have seen people who personally who are making probably above 40, and in the companies I have been, or probably maybe even 50s maybe, but this is just a number. So yeah, so you will make a lot. That's the nutshell. I
Perfect.
hope that
So I'm
answers.
just intrigued to know that this is gonna be a journey for the student,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What if a student is going through a breakdown? Like he's like, now this is the limit. How do you think that he should deal with that breakdown, or what are the possible steps he should take, or what are the possible steps he or she should tell themselves, or whom should they consult? If you can just put few words on in on this question.
Okay, so here I am not exactly sure by what you meant by breakdown exactly. Is it a type of a mental breakdown? Are you like implying here key students are
Yeah,
actually
it
not
could be
thinking?
career wise, it could be that they are like doing too much of it, it could be emotional breakdown, either one of them. But at the end of the day, it's gonna be reflecting on their mental strength, right? So, how do you think they
Okay.
should work on that?
So I think that of course if something is like bugging, you definitely deal with that first. But as far as data science is concerned, I will say ki, of course, get mentor, go on to Google, try for like search something, do your own research. We always say DOYR, so do your own research and see if this makes sense to you. Are you interested, or is this entire setting which is there, like take a business problem, get the data, analyze it, and then solve that business problem? Is this entire setting in like, does it interest you or so on? If that is good, if you have made your mind that okay, I want to be a data scientist, then now the question comes that how are you going to learn it? You can learn it freely on internet. I don't think that there is anything new which like we can like anybody can provide. Everything is there on internet. But definitely there is one thing which is called as the guidance. Like okay, you should have one roadmap, this after this after this, and eventually you will be like okay, this was so easy, I didn't get it at first place, how? So that path should be made easy by someone. So you can, of course, I think if I'm not wrong, Newton School has a masters in data science as a career option, and they actually take this 1 year training program where they eventually make people data scientists basically, and they actually help them in their placements, and all these things are there. So I think Newton School does this job pretty well. So you can pick it up if you want a guidance there. So, and of course these are the committees which you mentioned earlier. People can join there, people can learn there, people can ask doubts there. So yeah, just you have to decide if you want to do it. Just go ahead with it, and the place is nice. You won't end up in a wrong place, that's for sure. So yeah.
Perfect. All right. Okay. So one student is asking, sir, tell me about the complete data science course roadmap. I think you have just answered that. Do you want to take it once again?
So I will say that okay, we are providing some resources definitely to people, like some mathematical courses which they should follow definitely, then some Python programming courses which they should follow again, and also some databases courses which they should follow. But the idea is that if they are doing these courses, they are good with the prerequisites part. Now the only thing will be that are they able to solve the business problems, or are they able to like crack those data science and machine learning concepts pretty well or not. uh, so that is one thing. So this is again something which is available on internet. uh, Roadmap exactly, I think it differs from people to like person to person, but still, um, pick up one course, I would say. Pick up like a Newton School uh, data science masters program if you want. By the way, you can do any from anywhere at your point if you realize, if you like, but this is what it is like. Just study these things, and you should be good enough. Yeah,
So yeah, just to answer that, just to put few more words on this question, is that I have linked down few resources in the details description section on this YouTube live session only. So if you want, you can go through that as well. And it's a YouTube playlist of Python and of SQL. If you want different languages to work upon, you can do that. Plus, I have linked down the speaker's LinkedIn ID. Sagar LinkedIn ID has been there. If you have any questions, I think Sagar can answer them personally over there.
sure.
I have put it down my LinkedIn ID. If you are requiring for any particular, what do you say, topic which you want me to pick it up, I will for sure try to pick them up and get a great speaker lined up for you, and put the set of questions and try to answer as many as possible. Yeah. So that's about it. I think we are just left with a few more minutes. Few of the questions are coming in. Let's take them as quickly as possible, Sagar. One
Definitely.
person is
Yeah.
saying that data science very less job. What are your thoughts? Do you want to answer that?
No, I will completely disagree that point. I will say perhaps you are getting the maximum number of jobs in data science. Yes, I do agree that there is a lot of competition involved, because you can see that anybody can be a data scientist with 1 year of training, be it a civil engineer, be it a like mechanical engineer, irrespective of what your field is or what background you are coming from, you can actually get into data science just by learning these few concepts and strengthening them. but th- but that I think is an advantage also on the same like on the same hand, like if you are thinking in this way, ki your background doesn't matter, you can be actually a data scientist irrespective of from where you are coming from. So definitely there is a lot of competition, but I think that data science jobs are maximum at this point at least. And yeah, so it is kind of a golden time, I would say. So you may feel it is rare, but it is not, to be honest.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I think next question which we have, how is data scientist job? I think we have answered that. Easy, tough, stressful. The other kind of adjectives which you have used.
mm, can you repeat your question? I just didn't, like, the voice
Yeah.
broke here.
How is data scientist job? Easy, tough, or stressful?
Depends on which company you are in. If the company is working very, like, it's a very responsible company, and definitely they are taking their business decisions very seriously, probably it is, but okay, it is manageable. I won't say anywhere ki it is like stressful or anything like this. There are definitely jobs which are tougher than data science. I have seen people who are working like from morning 9 to like night 11 p.m. as well. So this has been the working hours of people. But the idea is that okay, this job is balanced enough. So again, and good thing is that you are making a good money here. So you have to somewhere balance your these things, that you are earning as well, but at the same time you are doing some medium kind of a job. I won't say it is tough, but at the same time won't say it is easy as well. It is a balanced job, I would say.
Perfect. All right. I think I also have personal question from you. Is that data scientist job, there has been, like, it's connecting to this question only, should they look for a startup, early startup, or a mid-range startup, or they should go for a proper corporate company, like, let's put it in words like fan companies? What do you think is the right kind of exposure will they get in the, as being a fresher or being just graduated or just doing a course, and where will they get the proper exposure in your regards?
uh, it depends on your choice as well, preferences. People prefer, some people prefer startups. They think that okay, I will be learning quite a lot in a less amount of time. So
Uh,
this is true to some extent, definitely, because even if you are, data scientist in a startup, for example, let's consider our own, like Newton School only, which is, by the way, not just a startup, it's a very successfully established one. But even if we consider like Newton School just for an example, here you will be doing, along with data science, some data analysis as well, some data engineering as well. You will set up some softwares and work related to that. So you are now wearing multiple hats here. So if that is something which you really like, if you want, if you are someone who loves to explore, probably this is the place. But you have to keep in mind that definitely you will have to wear multiple hats there. But if you are like कि, okay, I don't want to wear multiple hats, jitna सीखा है I want to do that much only. I don't want to go like and do different stuff on daily basis. Probably a company, I would say a big tech company, will make much more sense. And of course, there are like different perks on both sides. So it is completely based on your preference. In both the areas, I think it's really good. You can go anywhere you like.
Perfect. Only we have last 4 minutes left, so let's jump on them quickly.
Sure.
If you want, you can just put it in 2 lines so that other people answer can get also answered. So,
Quickly,
what do
yeah.
you say about artificial intelligence? Is choosing path in AI is best or DS?
Uh, a trick question, to be honest. Okay, you can pick in any one. If you want to solve, by the way, here I will put it in a very small sentence. If you want to solve business problems, and if you want to be with the business teams, if you want to make decisions in a company, data science is for you. If you want to innovate something, if you belong to a research kind of a mind, if you think that okay, you are creative enough, AI is for you. So it depends now where you want to be.
Perfect. I think Shushmana is Pandey is asking, hello, so when will you start a course in data science? I think we already have a course, like Saga just
Yeah.
highlighted that we have a master's course in data science. Yeah, so you can check out that particular course. All right.
And by the way, you
So
will get a master's degree as well if you are finishing that course. So it is not just the course, it is a full-fledged master's degree. So if you are a bachelor's guy, you will be like officially completing your master's. So that is one good thing. And it will be coming from universities, I guess. So yeah,
yeah,
that is a
that is
authentic
necessary for the
master's.
university. That's true.
Yeah.
Perfect. Next question is what, sir? What is the difference between data science versus software developer?
uh, Software developer, now if I just let's say for example I'm creating let's say a Zoom which we use daily for communication basis, and if I'm let's say creating Photoshop, or if I'm creating let's say PowerPoint, or these are multiple softwares which we use on day to day basis. If you are working in such a team who is working on these softwares, or you are making a website somewhere, probably you are working on YouTube, you are working on Amazon ka shopping website somewhere, you are making a product, and this product is going to be used by the customers. If you are here, then definitely it's a software engineering. But if you are now in a company who is taking let's say the business decision, they are thinking how to fund, like how much money to spend and so on, whether this project will make enough money return or not. So there are business decision. Of course, there MBAs do this all the time, but definitely today a data scientist, whenever there is a huge amount of data which manually MBAs cannot do, definitely we need some computational resources there. So you are kind of handling that business part as well in data science. So that makes it even better. So it depends, product or decisions. What is your eventual outcome?
All right, perfect. I think it's 6:59. It's time to get done with this webinar. Let
Sure.
us know whatever questions you guys have. I think you should have plugged in a little bit earlier. If not, then we have answered. We have tried answering many of them, right? My next okay, so it was lovely speaking to you, Sagar. Thanks
Thank you.
audience too for plugging in on such a late night, on that too on a weekend. So I hope you guys now have a sorted weekend and have fun on your weekend. And if you want to get few resources, feel free to go to the description session and you will be finding it over there. And for NSCC form link, I have already plugged that in the chat box. If not, then I will try to plug it once again over there. And Sagar, do you want to put any extra any last words?
No, I think that it was a nice session, and definitely I hope it is as useful as we are thinking, and people are making like the best use of it. So yeah, really, that's nice.
Perfect. So I have plugged in the link form as well in the chat box. So guys, you can check it out for sure. It was lovely speaking to you. Have a great evening from my side, guys. And of course, Saga, you have a great evening. And we will be coming up with more sessions in the near future. So say plug. And just like I did last time, it has been a dream come true. Do like, do share, and do subscribe for the content which we are providing you. And if you want to get regular updates on what is going on at Newton School, what are the webinars coming, what are the coding contests coming, I have again plugged in the Instagram channel of Newton School official LinkedIn Instagram channel, so you can follow over there and you can get the regular updates. Yeah, so that's the gist about it. Perfect. All right, let's end this session and have a great evening, guys. Bye bye. See you.
Bye bye. Yeah.